I gotta keep it quiet because I'm in a box that I'm sleeping in, and I gotta get out now. But I'm gonna roll up my sleeping pad and head to the liquor commission so that I can get on to serving at my Java Sky. My yoga pad, it was so comfortable. It's the most comfortable I slept in like 2 weeks. So I can go to my jobs and not look as homeless. You know what this is? Trash. I'm all set. Now comes the fun part. Let's see, I'm gonna use the camera. Periscope. I didn't see anyone. Am I crazy? Fuck yeah. Am I weird? Definitely. But we all know weird is just a symptom of awesomeness. One second. Let me know if you like this type of video. And please don't feel bad for me. This is the best I've slept in a while. I got my place coming. I'm not paying money to live in Honolulu while making bank. I'll take it. So I've got to someone saw me. Hopefully it doesn't work here. I'm gonna give it 30 seconds. I'm just gonna go for it. So, there we go. Security, the locker, they're fumbling with stuff. Security cameras right next to it, but it's kind of like, what I've always learned in these situations is the best place to hide is right under the nose. Right under the nose. I got this little handle thing, it's making it a lot easier to pull this off. I don't know why. Every time I lost it, I didn't buy another one. So basically now I've got to reschedule my liquor clearance test because I didn't wrap up in there in time. I thought that was security. And then I'm going to go to my TB clearance test. And then I have the night off, so I can either enjoy it and gather some content, pick up a shift at Eating House. You know, I do like the people there, especially now that they like can't deny my my true potential. You know, they can act like I'm an idiot when I only have that job and feel like I'm desperate because I'm new there, make themselves feel better. But now that they know I'm going to like Ilupina and I'm working at Sky, and within 4 days of busing there, I'm already going to be a server at Sky. They really can't act like I'm an idiot, especially with the type of job I do there. So it's kind of nice going in and like not rubbing it in their face, but just like getting to breathe and not be treated like an idiot. Up, music's ahead, copyright infringement, see ya. Alright, so now I'm headed to get my liquor card so that I can start serving. It's a couple mile walk. I could take a bus, but why take a bus? Just walk. What's like 3, 4, 5 miles? What am I really going to do with that time? I play on my phone and try to seek validation through getting people to respond to me. And, you know, I reached out to a lot of people I care about yesterday. And I don't need to spend all my time on the phone as I hold a phone talking about it. So I just went to Don Quixote, my new favorite place. I got the Butterfish bento box. Butterfish is mild and white. It might even be somewhat sweet. It's a dense fillet, and it's so velvety that this black cod is called butterfish here in Hawaii. $10 for that, yum. And I got the tantric turmeric synergy raw kombucha. Microbes, what is it? Probiotics are in kombucha. It's basically just fermented black tea and green tea, and it's good. I mean, it's really good, and it helps. Dude, get out of here, pigeon. It's not for you. It helps you to cultivate the right richness and diversity of gut microbiome, which, as I mentioned before, in Eastern cultures, your gut, your intestines, all the microbes that live in it, they're considered a second brain. It's considered a neural network in itself that's actually part of your consciousness through a symbiosis of consciousness, which is scientists saying, not just weird stuff I'm saying. So I've been trying to eat healthier, not only to feel healthier and to be healthier, but also to manage that richness and diversity of gut microbiome. So a goal of mine is, as of yesterday, to potentially work towards becoming a pescatarian and cutting out everything but fish, specifically raw, wild-caught, sustainable fish. I'm going to work towards it. It's going to involve more money than I've been capable of before, but now that I'm starting to get to a comfortable place, I can make cuts in areas of my life to improve even better areas of my life. So although I'm sleeping in a box right now, I'm very happy and I'm healthy and I'm continuing to stay healthy, and I'm gonna chow down on this meal. And I thought I'd share this message, which I can't say, but check it out. Now, I don't think I could say on YouTube whether I agree or disagree with that, but you might take a guess how I feel. How do you feel about that one? You're allowed to say. They're not going to shut your comment out. Loving you. Let's see where this video goes. As always, peace out, fam. Well, I just got my liquor card for the state of Hawaii, which is a huge step, especially because I needed to. It's a huge step towards getting to be a server. I've been working so hard towards this, and all I wanted was a break after all this, all of these hurdles, as I like to call them. And I keep jumping, and I keep learning how to jump higher and run faster and be stronger, metaphorically speaking. And I feel truly blessed for these hurdles because, again, I'm only strengthening myself. And I've learned to strive even more. You know, I'm not competitive. I've never been. I've never liked competitive sports. I've never liked any type of group competition. But what I love is competing against myself. Again, if I mentioned this before, I'm sorry, but if you've ever played Mario Kart on Super Nintendo, whenever you do the time trials, you would end up racing against your best time, your best lap. And you would see this little ghost version of you that you would be able to go through. And yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm competing against my best version of me that I've achieved so far. You know, when I got the ID, I'll show you. I don't look great. My haircut's kind of shitty. My smile's kind of funny. I'll get a better haircut then. But in the ID, I look just like my father. I mean, like, just like my father. And having had these thoughts about my brother lately, and then having talked to Michael the other day about his sister Caroline and how much it hurts him that she broke contact because he was hurting her too much with his choices in his own life. I can't help but feel like the universe is just giving me little nudges and hints, like, reach out to your brother, apologize. You know, even though it is an issue with dynamic flow between us, and one that we're both to blame for, who am I to say who's more to blame, and why does that even matter? What does his level of blame have to do with me? I can only be accountable for my level of blame, and anything else is just subjective. So I texted him and let him know how I feel, and that I'm truly sorry for the argument we had when my mom passed, and that I'd like to work towards rebuilding our relationship. I let him know how much he and his family means to me, and that I would love, especially through the sobriety I'm going through, I'd love for them to be a part of this life that I'm building for myself, even if they are over 5,000 miles away. I'm really proud of myself because I've needed to do this for some time, but I've been very stubborn. It's one of my best and worst traits is how stubborn I am. I get that from my mom for sure. And I feel like a weight has lifted off my shoulder, even if he chooses to not be ready or to want any form of relationship at all in the future. I've done my part, and I can only hope that he's willing to, you know, accept my role in events and the accountability that I'm sharing. So that's a big step for me, and I appreciate you letting me share so intimately about my vulnerabilities and the inner battles that I go through. My phone's almost dead. I have to find a place to charge it. Loving you. Peace. Bye. All right, so let me get this crap off. So I just went to Walmart and I got the $60 Anchor Watt PowerSense 3, which charges out the USB-C and in the USB-C, which a USB-C to USB-C is like the fastest way you can charge. And basically I needed this because Joe's got 4 of mine, my landlord. But screw that negative stuff. I'm gonna be a server and in some amazing places. So all this stuff and this transition I've gone through on this spirit journey is only leading me to a better version of where I was originally, which was the Denver airport bartending. Whatever, I'll have a better view and not be a center for the dark occults, because that place is creepy. Look it up. Yeah, so I basically at Walmart I saw a couple things. There's a $5 air mattress, which I think will fit in my box. I'll probably buy some cardboard boxes there to cover it, clean ones, so that if someone looks in, all they see is cardboard boxes. I'll have to buy the air pump for it. That'll only cost me $20 for all those. And I bought a Batman toy. Joel, who had let me stay on his floor, even though he had roommates who weren't digging it, he put himself out there. Sorry, my memory card ran out. I had to delete some more apps like Bumble and a few others. But yeah, he put himself out there and let me stay there, so I thanked him and tried to offer him money. I gave him extra more than they had said, which I think just he gave to the landlord. But you know, his son also let me stay there, and regardless of whether he would understand my thanks or not, or my situation, I figure a way to butter to the deal was a Batman toy. So I bought him that, and I'm headed there now to give to them because it's right by the TV clinic. He had just called me while thinking about, like, I bought the Batman, and then he texted me after I bought the Batman, and while I was getting ready for this video. That's nuts. So many synchronicities lining up. Even last night I had a dream about my mom and I were going up this tiny stream, and then a whole bunch of snakes started coming out of the side of the creek bed, and they swarmed up me and they started biting me on the top of the head. Crap, on my crown. Oh man. Oh man. And they were coral snakes from Florida. They kill you in 15 minutes. And here I am walking by. I had also been talking to Michael about starting a nonprofit based around having people donate art supplies and basically keeping a transparent account and donating money towards like food and art supplies, then going out interviewing people on the streets who aren't in the best situation and getting them to share their story in a positive light and show some of the struggles and the strengths, and humanizing them and offering them a voice and getting them to paint or teaching them to paint, and then selling their artwork through a gallery online that I build into a worldwide network of other people doing such things. So that's a goal of mine, and even as I do that, I look over, this guy's got art and he's on the ground now. I don't want to make him feel exploited, so I'll be quick, but I'm gonna flip the camera around. So what is the artwork? It's the iconic snake in the tree. I don't see the apple, and he's sleeping with a crayon in his hand. But that's a man who I would love, switching back around again, who I would love to come back and have create art with paint supplies, and maybe not even needing guidance, and spend, you know, an afternoon with him and to teach and to learn and to share a personal experience, an interpersonal experience. And I just keep getting these symbols and signs and messages, and whatever the snake means, I'll have to interpret that dream. I still haven't done my dream interpretation video. That's why I've had the gap in a few days. But literally, I've had every minute of every day just packed nonstop with solid, positive plans and building and growth, nonstop. I'm doing a podcast this Saturday with Slab City, I think it's Slab City News or SLABcityTv, where Sarah Jane Bangarang is joining me. It's going to be a hit. And then also planning a podcast with What Lurks Beneath, where I'm going to delve into some darker topics from the road that I've mentioned before in a video, but that chronologically on YouTube it hasn't showed up yet. What Lurks Beneath is getting about 1,000 extra subscribers a day. He's at 86,000 now. 2 weeks ago he was at 50,000, and he wants to do a 3-hour podcast. He mostly does creepypasta type stories of like people making stuff up and acting like it's real, but he's gonna get the real deal whenever he has me on, and I think he might even know that already, and it's super excited. So big steps. I'm reaching out to join on podcasts. I haven't started writing my book yet, but I should get the transcript going. You might think I'm funny, but I'm dead serious. Also, my high school hit me back. They have the transcript. They just need access to my information and make sure that it's me. So I just need to email them back. I've got to reach out and hit up Airbnb or the city about my old landlord's illegal Airbnb operation. I let him go on with it a few weeks so he could build his funds up, so that he actually has money to give me, like for real. But it's time to shut that down. You know, right before he has his baby, not maliciously, but he's breaking the law, and he's broken other laws, and he's taking advantage of people, and he has to learn another way, and he's going to learn another way. Not for my sake, but for his. So headed for my TV clearance, the first of the visits. Going to Joel's house to give his son Jolie a nice Batman toy. I'm having a great day, staying active. I'm still doing over 100 miles a week in steps on my Samsung Health. I just walked through Chinatown, which is awesome. I'll have to show you more of that on my walk back through. I'm going to grab that air mattress, a real pillow, because I'm a little pillow bitch, as I call it. I need a nice solid pillow, or else I toss and turn and I don't sleep well. So tonight I'll be sleeping in that box in an air mattress with a padded yoga mat over top of it, with my sleeping bag liner and a pillow. I have my power charger, which has the 20,000 mega ampule or whatever, mAh. So that'll charge my phone like 8 times. I'll just charge that while I'm at work, not have to worry about running out. I don't have to keep deleting all these apps because I have a 256 gigabyte card, which I'm going to install in my phone once I get to a paperclip, a little tiny one to open up my SD card. And then I have to decide if I want to go gather YouTube content, pick up a shift at the eating house to make another $175, or go get my training rolling at Ilopina, which is going to be my cash crop, my money maker. As soon as the second TB clearance goes through, where they're basically testing on my skin, they're putting stuff in my body, which is kind of weird. Then they have to test to see how it reacts when I come back in a few days. That's when I'll be serving at Sky. I'm no longer busing, so that they can stay away from the conflict while not getting rid of an employee that's been there for 6 years, and also letting me stay there. So a ton going on. I hope that you're reaching out to me if you feel like it, because I will reach back. It might take some time. I'm working harder on responding to comments and making you, realize that I do care. And yeah, I give a lot of this credit to my sobriety and being my real me. I always thought I needed marijuana, but to be honest, marijuana, it stunts your emotional growth back to the point of when you started. So I was basically at the emotional level of a 15-year-old, and I smoked heavy, again, an ounce a week, a couple grams of wax a week on top of it. I did the math once, and I'd literally spent over $100,000 on THC products in the past decade. That's real. I could have had that camera and the business started if I had been saving rather than smoking. So we'll see where this goes. I don't need to stay sober the rest of my life, but I count the option out. I especially want to stay away from alcohol because I feel like that truly lowers your vibrations. Whereas marijuana only has such a strong effect, in my opinion, whenever it's used in very heavy amounts without any break and without CBD to regulate your endocannabinoid system. CBD is crucial. It reverses the psychotropic effects of marijuana while also balancing out the natural chemicals in your brain that are very similar in shape and size to THC. We'll talk more about this later. I've got a ton of topics, a ton more content coming. I plan to do a lot, and once I start making money, on a real level that I'm used to, and I'm comfortable in my apartment, which I hope to get by the second. I haven't found it yet. Maybe a room for rent for a week or a month. I'm gonna start paying for royalties and getting music edited into these videos, and eventually I might even have to hire someone as a video editor to help piece these together with music in a way that has the most impact, so that I can just gather the content, toss it on the cloud, let them access it, go through all the stuff, add a proper description. Oh, almost ran when I shouldn't. I do that. And yeah, this YouTube thing is gonna blow up. Once I get the drones, I do more time-lapse videos, I add in proper B-roll. I go on these podcasts, I continue doing podcasts. I am honestly gonna work towards writing a book. I'm going to get my culinary degree with the option of working then towards the hospitality degree and the business and marketing degree, and then I will potentially just travel around doing different restaurant. Man, I'm saying so many things, I'm forgetting the final word. Telling restaurants how to run and having them pay me big bucks to go around the country, tell them what to do, work on my other stuff on the side, continue my underwater photography, videography, stay here hopefully 6 months, a year plus, but I don't want to tie myself down to any option. I have to start figuring out merchandising soon. I appreciate you all who, because this is ahead of whenever I asked if you would donate, because again, healers, not that I'm just a healer, but I'm on a path healing myself. Healers need energy flowing into them to keep being able to push energy out. And so I want to thank you preemptively, you personally, thank you for donating, be it $1 or $20 or whatever. Again, I want you to have told me what it's for. You know, if I'm supposed to help people with it, if I'm supposed to grab a meal, get this long overdue haircut, put it towards rent, throw it in my savings towards the underwater photography. I want you to decide where the money goes. But thank you for having done that. I'm out of breath. Non-stop walking. yeah, everything that I've ever dreamed is going to come to fruition. And I just want to say I learned this from Gabe Spataro while doing underwater photography. I was volunteering my underwater photography for Dive Heart. It's an organization that was founded, created, and conceptualized by Jim Elliott. He's also the president. And they gather funds and they find people with special needs, disabilities, who are in need of extra love and healing. They get them their adaptive scuba diving licenses. They bring them to Key Largo each year and bring them out scuba diving on the coral reef. People with cerebral palsy, spina bifida, people with polio, post-traumatic stress syndrome, people with, traumatic brain injuries, ADHD, autism, you name it. But specifically people with gravity-bound issues. And Jim feels that by helping to empower those people with a can-do attitude, that everyone else in the world will look to them and look up to them for all the amazing things they're doing and wonder what's holding them back, which is nothing. And that's his best path to changing the world. While working for them doing underwater photography, I had the opportunity to meet Jim Elliott. And Jim Elliott, he's awesome. One of my biggest heroes, but Gabe Spataro was having dinner with the Cressy family in Italy. They're the like big scuba line. Way back, maybe almost 60 years ago now, 55 years ago. And there's a statue that's in Florence, Italy. It's the Christ of the Abyss statue. It sits at like 50 feet in Florence. There's another one somewhere else. I don't do research, I just remember crazy stuff. And sorry, maybe I'll reference it in the description. But he asked the Cressys if they could get a mold made or use the mold of the Christ statue and bring one to Key Largo, Florida. So young Gabe then had actually taken the complete voyage across the Atlantic Ocean, over for whatever reason through New York and the locks into the Great Lakes, I think down the Mississippi even maybe, and all the way over to Key Largo, where they set the statue. And since then, the statue has become the #1 most photographed statue in the United States. Back in 2014, when I went to go snorkeling, when I first started freediving, I saw the Christ statue, and wow, I'll show you a photo. It was so beautiful, so powerful. I ended up quitting a great job in Cocoa Beach, Florida that I had, and moving down to go live in my car in parking pull-offs and Key Largo. And that's when I got into my hardcore freediving and underwater videography, photography. I built my relationship with Rainbow Reef Dive Center, etc. I digress. While at the Dive Heart event, where Gabe Spataro had gone down as a participant of Dive Heart, 83 years old and blind, to see the Christ statue, he got a priest on the boat. Sorry for switching, this is so heavy with added anchor wide. He got a priest on the boat to do a ceremony where he had 2 wreaths and he had holy water, and he blessed each wreath, one for those who lived, worked, and played on the water, the other for those who fought and died on the water. He went down then, Gabe at 83, scuba diving down, and had the wreaths placed onto each hand of the Christ statue, and then with special gloves to not get stung, and permission from NOAA or whoever the underwater resource people are for like environmentalism, he got to see the Christ statue, as he called it, his old friend, for the first time in decades, by feeling it. I'll never forget what Gabe said. He said, I want all of you young people to know that sometimes you'll tell yourself that you're an idea in your head or a plan, and it just doesn't seem to follow through. He said, just know that even though you don't follow through or get to pursue that plan now, it's never too late. 50 years ago, literally exactly 50 years ago, I brought this statue because of plans that I built with the Cressy family. And I always told myself that I would have this very ceremony. And here we are 50 years later today, performing that ceremony with nothing lost in transition. I'm slaughtering his exact words. It was such a powerful moment. I cried so much every chance I got to go and help and shoot photography for these beautiful people. Not all heroes wear capes. Both the dive-hard participants who are overcoming some serious obstacles to do what others might be completely scared of, and the volunteers who sacrifice their time and fly from around the world to get to help these people. And I feel so very honored to have been a part of that and to honestly be a contributing member of Dive Hard. It's been years, and once things start rolling, yes, I plan to continue that path. Who knows, maybe I'll become their advocate here. Maybe I'll help with fundraising and get a Dive Hard chapter based out of Hawaii. Now that's an idea I just had right now. That sounds fantastic. But yeah, I just want you to know that as you watch me continue to kick ass and take names, my plan is to pursue every dream that I've had. Back when I left Pennsylvania 12 years ago, before that, for a decade, I had said, I'm going to move to Florida, I'm going to move to Tennessee, I'm going to move to Alaska. All I would do is talk about it for months and then just give up, not talk about it again. So by the time I left 10 years ago, I was ready. And I decided, rather than just going to Tennessee or Florida or Alaska to move, that I would go do all of them. And honestly, I have. It's 10 years later, I've lived in as many states. Lived and worked in 10 states. And once I worked and lived in 5 states in a single year, while living out of a tent in Alaska, Oregon, the mangroves of Key Largo, Florida, Pennsylvania, my hometown area, and even staying at a homeless shelter in Minnesota so I could be there for a while. The only thing holding you back from your dreams is you. The only limits we have are those we place on ourselves. I'm not saying that to tear you down for not having achieved your dreams. I'm telling you, they don't have to happen today for them to matter. Keep working towards them. Every time you try and fail, is you programming your brain towards that. Every time you try again and fail, you're further programming it. Even if it's like quitting smoking, they say, try to quit cold turkey. If it fails, try again. Each time it's going to become easier and easier. Same with these achievements. So please watch the direction I go and realize that you hold the same capacity, the same capabilities, and know that I love you and I support you and I really do believe in you. I will help manifest for you. In fact, I'm already sending the manifestation to your way. Follow your dreams, follow your heart. You are an awesome and amazing, a unique, a special, an integral part of this community. You're someone that truly matters, and don't ever forget that. Don't let anyone ever try to convince you otherwise. This is going to be more personal, so let me bust out the Batman toy so I can show you. Yeah, Joel was playing with his different toys, and the one gorilla that he named Batman because he didn't have a Batman toy. So, Batman, it only costs $12. What's $12? Honestly, living a life of service to others is truly just living a life of service to yourself. I'm not in the best situation with my money, and I'm homeless and this and that and the other, but if I can get a 9-year-old boy to have a real Batman that he could call Batman while playing on the floor and practicing his imagination, fuck yeah. I mean, seriously, I didn't grow up with any toys. And I definitely grew up in a situation without a nurturing father like he's gifted to have. And there's so much I didn't have. And honestly, look how I turned out. Not perfect, but I'm continuing to grow every day. And I can't imagine what someone like Jolie and his father Joel, but someone like Jolie, what he might turn out. He's so gifted, also with ADHD, definitely twice exceptional, as I've said. And I can't imagine the man he gets to turn into. And I really hope to keep this relationship established so that I can potentially be a part of our mutual growth through each other. So cool being called uncle here. Uncle is the term of endearment you use for your elder and nephew. It's not about blood. It's Ohana. It's the family outside of the nuclear family. And just like you are, you know, our ages might be the same, or they're not, but I'll be your uncle and I'll be your nephew. You are my Ohana. Loving you, Ohana.